much to them. On today's program, we are going to talk to one of our good listeners here who's got a really touching story. His name is Matthew. He's going to be on the show in about, right when we come back from break. It's about his dog, Woofie. And it's a really great story. And it really goes into the therapy issue of dogs and cats and any type of animals. And we're going to talk about therapy animals when we come back from the program, as well as diagnosis of the week, believe it or not, and Nicola from the City of Toronto, Toronto Animal Services. All this and more on Canada's #1 Pet Talk radio program. This is Pet Talk 360 on the AC Media Network. We're in the country and in the U.S., 1-877-660-0360. Great advice from myself and the best vet I know, and the best vet you should know, Dr. Cliff Redford of the Redford Inc. Incorporation Company on Pet Talk 360, www.pettalk360.com, or our Facebook group, which you can get to if you go to pettalk360.com. We are talking about therapy dogs, and right now we have a guest joining us. His name is Matthew, and we're going to talk to him about therapy dogs, his dog, and how having a therapy dog really affects and changed his life. Matthew, welcome to Pet Talk 360.
Hey, how are you?
How's it going, my friend?
It's all right.
Yeah, you doing good?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Good. So, first of all, I want to ask you, just plain and simple, Woofie. Okay, let's talk about your dog here for a second. Tell me how you got your dog, because I'm sure everybody has a story about how they first got their pup, right? So tell me how you got your dog.
I was actually traveling in New Zealand, and I was in this field, and there was this garbage bag there, and it was moving, and I was pretty curious, so I actually opened it up, and inside the bag was a bunch of dogs, and I took them to the local vet. It was about an hour and a half drive from where I was, and none of them survived except for Woofie. And it turns out she was part dingo, and that's why I put them in the garbage bag. You're not supposed to have dingoes as pets in New Zealand.
Wow. So you're telling me you found a garbage bag. So someone actually breeded these, maybe by accident, and then when they found out that it was part dingo, they kind of just said, okay, we're tossing these, we're trashing them out.
Exactly.
And so how many would you say that they were in there? How many of these little guys didn't make it?
There was 8. There was 8 dogs, and she was the only one to survive, which is pretty remarkable. And it was funny because she was the one who was like the most messed up. Like she had like lettuce all over her and garbage and stuff.
Oh man! So you get to the vet, you open the bag, and now you see that there's only one. So
yep.
So Tom, walk me through this at this point, because I'm sure at this point your emotions are running high, and you spent an hour and a half trying to save all these animals, and walk me through what happened next.
So I arrived at the vet, and the first thing they did was they cleaned off Woofie. She was the only one alive by the time I got to the vet. So they cleaned her off. They cleaned her airway, basically checked her breathing and all that stuff. She was only 6 weeks old, they approximate at the time. So she was pretty small. They just kept her in observation. They put her on an IV, actually, because they don't know if she had nourishment or not. She was pretty thin. I think she weighed like something like 7 pounds. So she was really small.
Yeah.
And she's actually pretty small now for a Shepherd Cross. Like, she's only 58 pounds.
Oh, well,
that's still a fair-sized dog.
Yeah, it's still a big dog for a little Chihuahua.
Yeah.
Compared to... So now Woofie's getting back to health. She's feeling better. Now,
yeah,
you want to come back home, right? So...
Yeah, like she stayed at the vet for about 3 weeks, and then I went back just out of curiosity. Like, I never even intended on keeping her, but I went back and was asking about her, and they said she's doing well, and I asked if I can have her. And so that's how she came to be my dog.